Have you ever wondered how the city of Atlantis ended up underwater? Well, with the way certain cities are handling their flood prevention, we might just get to see a live reenactment. Take Zhengzhou, China, for example, a city that was recently baptized by a once-in-a-thousand-year rainfall event. A shocking 98% of China's major cities are at risk of flooding, thanks to a hearty mix of rapid urban growth and a zealous application of impermeable concrete. Now there's a cocktail for disaster if ever there was one. These floods led to a tragic loss of at least 51 lives. And here's a chilling thought. Climate experts predict that due to global climate change, we're likely to see more rainfall records being smashed in the future. So, while we may not be breaking any Olympic records soon, we're certainly on track to break some rainfall ones. Now you might be thinking, surely they've got some sort of plan in place. Well, you're not entirely wrong. China has taken steps to mitigate flood risks, including reinforcing reservoirs and developing drainage infrastructure. They've even introduced the concept of sponge cities. No, that's not a city made of your kitchen sponge. It's an urban area designed to retain and drain rainwater. But as the floods in Zhengzhou have shown, even these measures might not be enough to withstand extreme rainfall events. Speaking of smart solutions, let's shift our focus to LiDAR technology. The market for LiDAR in smart infrastructure is projected to increase tenfold from $1.5 billion in 2025 to $14 billion in 2030. But remember, it's not about how much you spend, it's about how you spend it. And in the case of LiDAR, the jury is still out on this one. Now let's switch gears to sunny California. It's a state that's hotter than a jalapeno in the desert, but is also at risk of severe rainfall. Climate change has warmed California by 1.4 degrees Celsius since 1895, increasing the likelihood of storms and flooding. The state's boom-bust climate and a history of questionable planning decisions have left it vulnerable to disasters. So, what have we learned today? Flood prevention in cities is a bit like trying to keep your socks dry while walking through a puddle. It's a tricky business. But with careful planning, innovative solutions, and perhaps a giant umbrella, we might just manage to keep our cities from becoming the next Atlantis. And remember, folks, a sponge city might sound like a great place to do your dishes, but it's a concept that could make a world of difference in preventing floods. So the next time it starts raining cats and dogs, let's hope our cities are ready to soak it all up.